This is Jim Minion from Two Loose Screws. I'm listening to Barbecue Central.
Let's go!
We'll do it live. Okay. Well, do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
So to get that perfect barbecue, you use wood. Are you sure it's safe? Whatever. We put the lighter fluid on, strike the match, and... Oh! Should we call the fire department? That might be a good idea.
All right, good evening, and welcome to the Really Big Barbecue Central Show. This is the show that talks about all things that are important to the world of barbecue and grilling. This show originating from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame city, Bomb City, USA, Cleveland, Ohio, the barbecue capital of the North Coast. I'm your program host, Greg Rempe. Happy to have you aboard here on your Tuesday evening's live fire fun and frivolity show. If you would like to get in contact with the show this evening, or you would like to follow the show during off-show hours, here's how you do all that.
You can get in touch with the show by sending an email to Greg at bbqcentralshow.com. Follow us on all the social media channels at BBQ Central Show. And be sure to subscribe to the show podcast feed on your favorite podcast platform.
Anything else you want to like to find out about the show, you can visit the main website, thebbqcentralshow.com. And here's what's happening in case you get the newsletter coming up in about 12 minutes from now. He is a quarterly guest here in 2025, a Weber lover, undeniably and unabashedly, and the creator of Another Pint Please. Mike Lang will be joining us. A couple weeks off his normal slot, but I was out a couple weeks ago, and then he was out when he was supposed to be in traditionally, but we have reconvened here on the 25th day of March to make good on his first quarterly visit here in 2025. And then we will be joined by a secret in-studio guest who I will talk to here in a second. That'll bring a close to the first hour. In-studio guest will stay into the second hour, and because it is the fourth Tuesday of a month, that means he will be sitting in for the ever-popular fan-favorite Embedded Correspondence segment. Doug Scheiding, John Solberg, Rusty Monson, Matt Osman, and our live sit-in guest will take part in what is an exceptionally extensive and provocative 100% Assurities questions list, and perhaps some other topics, but I doubt we will have any time for such nonsense because that Assurities list is large and sweeping and will cover most items that are happening not only in live fire, but in life in general. So that's how the show is laying out here tonight. Mike Lang coming up here shortly, Embedded Correspondence in the second hour. Don't forget you can follow me socially, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Snapper Snaps, and LinkedIn's, all with the handle at BBQ Central Show. And of course, we say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms. You can go to Facebook.com/BBQ Central Show or Twitter.com/BBQ Central Show, or watch on YouTube, which is YouTube.com/@BBQ Central Show, where we have a new YouTube poll question of the week, and we're asking everybody, including all guests, did you know how the Michelin star guide really worked prior to Robert Moss? And then last week's Daniel Vaughn talking about it, and 62% of you are saying, indeed, no, you did not. No, you did not.
Andrew, you are
Not.
the father.
You didn't know how the Michelin star guide really worked. By the way, I'm falling into that 62% as well, as I came clean with Daniel Vaughn last week. Results from the YouTube poll of last week: is Magic Kingdom the worst Disney park to go to when you're an adult? And 67% of you said yes. So let's start here this evening. This is something that does not happen nearly enough, which is a real live guest in studio. Not only that, the first time I've actually had a sitting mayor of any city on this show. Not only that, if there is a guy that should be the mayor of a town for whence he lives in, this is the epitome of such a statement. For the past few years, when you say Wickliffe, Ohio, you have also come to think of their mayor, who might be doing more for his city than any other mayor across the country. Nay, the globe. Let's welcome in first-time guest and the mayor of Wickliffe, Ohio, Joe Sakis. Joe, how are you, pal?
Very good, Greg. Thank you so much for having me.
Joe, this is an absolute pleasure and an honor and a thrill for me to have you. Not only am I talking with, when I say, we love to use the term top men in the industry when we're talking on this show, but you are literally top man in the city of Wickliffe. I was a resident of Wickliffe for a number of years before we moved down about 5 years ago. So as you are soaking in the Barbecue Central show compound, first thoughts as somebody who has seen mansions and hobnobbed with some of the metropolitan Cleveland's elite.
So I will say my first overall thing is I'm hungry.
You want to eat?
I hear barbecue and
I'm
talking to you and some of the things we chatted about earlier. Yeah, it just, one thing I love to do when I'm at home and I get away from all of it is I like to cook. I'm the cook at the house.
All right. So we're going to get into that in a deep fashion coming up in what would be your segment here coming up after Mike Lang. We'll talk about how you got into politics. We'll talk about what it's like to, like I said, I've never had a mayor on my show. So to me, mayor of Wickliffe, you could be also mayor of Cleveland, or we move on to New York and you can become mayor of New York City, which is the mayor of the country. And maybe we look at governor and all this other stuff. Well, and then there's going to be a topic that we're going to talk about 35 past the first hour that the majority of people, it's going to go right over their head. We're going to start throwing local names around of businesses that could be a little controversial coming out of my mouth. I'm not saying you're going to say anything controversial, of course, but I have a question that I have long wanted to ask a Joe Sakis about my potential business return to Wickliffe, what it might look like, what I would need as somebody coming in as a potential business owner. Could be a steep ask. I'm not talking about abatements. I don't even know what that means, but I've heard that thrown around in politics, abatements. So that's going to be a fun conversation when we get to it. Before all of that, what does a Joe Sakis like to cook? What are your live fire chops looking like these days?
Okay, well, first, steaks every week.
Every week?
I run out of ideas.
He's the mayor.
And so I live with girls, all girls, and girls who like steak. So that's important. That's good. It's easy. And, some people cook steaks different. I do it a certain way. But steaks, smash burgers, red meat, right?
Big red meat.
Big red meat,
Yep.
people. Meatloaf to pulled pork. So pulled pork, and I have one of the easiest, simplest barbecue recipes that my mother handed down, and it is so simple and easy, and everybody loves it, but I would never tell you guys the secret because you guys would laugh at me. It's that simple.
We're holding on to the secret.
It's so simple, but it's so good with pulled pork, right? Maybe not so
Only
much
pulled
rib.
pork.
Yeah, with ribs, no, but with pulled pork, it's unbelievable. My wife has 17 sandwiches in like 2 days. So
Really?
right, I mean,
Wow.
it's crazy. She'll eat
Megan,
it for work all
big
week.
fan of pulled pork. She takes them cold to work, like she does a reheat, or she's a cold sandwich.
Reheater, Greg. Yeah, I'm a cold guy. I'm a cold pizza. Cold. I like things cold.
Of course.
She's a reheater.
I get pizza solely to maybe have 1 to 2 pieces, maybe 6. And then into the refrigerator it goes because I want it the next day. And I want it the day after that. Nothing better than going into the fridge and fishing out 2 to 4 pieces of cold pizza. It's the best.
If you are or been to the Wickliffe area, know that there's a place called Petty's. Petty's Pizza is
Legendary.
best cold.
Yeah.
I love it. Ice cold, out the fridge, amazing. So I'm right with you. I love cold pizza.
Becky's a big barbecue rib cold. Like,
Really?
we eat the ribs. If on occasion there could be some left over, she's very excited because now she can have cold ribs the next day. She fish them right out of the Tupperware, and away we go.
Okay, cold ribs. Yeah, that's that would be probably a bad word here, but air fryer for me.
Yeah, a little reheat. No, we love air frying. No doubt about it. Maybe we'll talk to our guest who's coming up here in just a moment, and we'll see what he thinks about potentially reheating ribs in the air fryer. I think he might be down for it. He might say use a grill or something. Who knows with this Mike Lang. You know Mike Lang?
I do not know.
You're going to meet him next segment. He's a hoot. All right. So this is Joe Sakis sitting in for the duration of the show here this evening. And before we get to Mike, we'll talk to you quickly about Pits and Spits. Gang, if you're serious about your grilling game, then you need to check out the latest from Pits and Spits. They've just launched 2 game-changing products that will take your outdoor cooking game to the next level. Let's kick things off with the Pits and Spits griddle. The gas griddle combines the power of a traditional grill with the versatility of a flat-top griddle, engineered with precision, crafted from top-quality materials. The versatile griddle is set to revolutionize your outdoor cooking experience. Constructed of 304 marine-grade stainless steel, a fully welded design, the griddle comes with 4 burners to accurately manage your heat zones. Gets blistering hot with 80,000 BTUs and made with that Pits and Spits signature quality. Now, for those of you building your ultimate outdoor kitchen, you have to check out the built-in pellet grill designed for the discerning grill master, perhaps like a Joe Sakis, who demands top-tier performance from all of their grilling appliances. Well, this will be the grill that will surely be the centerpiece of any serious outdoor kitchen, from low and slow smoking to high heat searing. This grill can handle it all: brisket, ribs, pizzas, veggies, you name it, this grill can cook it. And with the Pits and Spits legendary craftsmanship, you can be confident it's built to last with stainless steel construction and a design that's reliable as it is versatile. So if you're ready to take that cooking game to the next level, head on over to the website, pitsandspits.com. That's Pits and Spits, all spelled out with the double T on the Pits and Spits /BBQ Central. Use promo code BBQ Central for a free spice pack with orders over $500 or more. We're back with Mike Lang and sit-in guest Joe Sakis. Stick around, be right back.
You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Broadcasting live from the BBQ Central Show studios in Cleveland, Ohio. You're listening to the BBQ Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Fireboard, makers of Fireboard 2, Fireboard Pro, Fireboard Spark, Fireboard Beacon, and the wireless Fireboard Pulse. When you use the Fireboard app, you have total access to all devices anywhere in the world. Find out more by visiting fireboard.com or call 816-945-2232. My first guest this evening, here for his first quarterly appearance in 2025. A few weeks late, but nonetheless, in my absence and then in his first absence, we have come together for an end of March visit. which will be the first of 4. We welcome back our pal from Another Pint Please, Mike Lang. Mike, how are you, pal?
I'm great, Greg. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fabulous. Mike, if you don't mind, please meet the mayor of Wickliffe, Ohio, Joe Sakis. Joe, this is Mike Lang.
Mike, nice to meet you.
Mr. Mayor, nice to meet you. And, as myself being a 3-term Ohio Township trustee, thank you for your service. I know what it takes to enter public office, and also you're friends with Greg, so it's a double thank you.
Yes, well, you you are welcome, and thank you for your service. It isn't an easy thing to
Joe,
do. Right?
Mike is a kind of freshly retired law enforcement officer down in the Dayton area.
Oh, well, I was there not that long ago for a concert, and hey, thanks for your service on that end as well, Mike.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you.
All right, Mike. So we have a number of topics to talk about here this evening. And Joe, if you think of any questions, Mike, a expert here, and that's why we have him on every quarter, aside from having a dynamite setup studio out there in the grill shack. What are we calling it officially, Mike? Is it the grill studio, the grill shack, the grill barn?
I call it the grill studio. That's what it is. Yeah. So
we're coming up. Well, I guess we are in spring now. So that signifies what some folks would consider to be the beginning of the grilling season.
Yep.
So if you're somebody that believes that there's a season, which means you're busting the grill out for Memorial Day and you're going to retire it somewhere after Labor Day, what are we doing from a let's get ready to get ready phase? You got a couple different cookers, maybe you got a charcoal grill, maybe you got a gas grill. Things you want to do to each to make sure that you get them ready for 2025's grilling season.
Well, I think the most important thing, number one, is give them a clean. And I always laugh too, it's the start of grilling season. And of course, a lot of us always say, well, grilling season never ended. Well, that said, it's a good benchmark to still go outside and make sure your first cook's a success and actually spring by giving it a good clean. But, start easy. Today I was shooting, I call them big burgers, which everyone's always into smash burgers, and I like a smash burger better. But I had some really enjoyable big burgers and big burger sliders. I used to call them dad burgers because they would, blow up the size of a meteorite and you would still eat it. But, something simple to sort of get your season going, getting your chops back. Even if you've been slowing down because it's been cold out, just take it easy.
Do we call those tavern burgers?
Well, I've heard that term before.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some great places around here I'll get a big burger from, but most of the time I just miss the texture and the flavor of something more smashed down. But today I was kind of surprised. I actually ate the whole thing for lunch. I go, that's pretty good.
What size burger patty are you using pre-cook?
It was a half pound.
Really?
Yeah, it was huge. Yeah, I made it myself.
You a grinder?
So I do sometimes, but not always.
You have a big grinder, or you have like the KitchenAid attachment?
No, I've got the KitchenAid one, so it kind of limits me.
Joe, you have a meat grinder?
No, I buy the pound from Sweetberry.
Yes. A fine Wickliffe grocery establishment. Way to plug it in. Good job, Joe.
I never grind. That's something to think about for the future.
You're a big smash burger guy, though, right?
I'm a smash burger guy, but I can do a big burger every now and again. There's some places, but when I'm cooking them, it's easier to take my smasher. I can't think. What's the name? What is that? I
call it the smasher.
Yeah, the smasher. I can't. Yeah, the press.
Yeah.
I got a press from Amishland, and thing serves me right.
Did you know George? You know George Motes, right, Mike? The burger scholar.
Yes.
He sells this thing called the Smashula. $250.
It's called put some muscle to a spatula.
Mayor, how many Smashulas can the city of Wickliffe afford? I'm saying 0. That's ridiculous. But
Right.
Every time I go to buy one, it's sold out, though. So, he's done a pretty good job marketing that, I would say. So, it's always sold out no matter what. All right, so get your grills clean, number one. If somebody's coming to you, Mike, and saying, this is the year that I'm tossing the thing that I should be cleaning, I'm going to go for an upgrade, what should I buy? Like, how are you consulting with people, or what advice are you giving to them to steer them in the right direction on a new purchase?
I always tell them get a kettle. Because sometimes people get sticker shock over a large gasser. I get it. And even a pellet smoker is not necessarily cheap. But I'm like, if you get past that, fear of having to light charcoal and tin the fire, it is honestly so easy with a covered cooker like a Weber kettle. That's what I always say to get. The price is right. It's going to last forever. If you take care of it, it's going to give you so much satisfaction, and you can do anything on it. That's the amazing part about it.
Give us the down and dirty, no pun intended, on lighting charcoal, helping us get over the fear. I do think there's a lot of people that think I would use a charcoal grill more, but there is all this run up and time consumed prior to even getting the meat on the grill that I don't want to invest during the week, especially.
I'm one of those, by the way. So
help Joe, Mike.
Right.
Yeah, it's two things. Number one, you figure even if you're starting up a gas grill, which I've been doing that, I've got one close to the house now, so I don't have to walk over here to the studio. It still is going to take at least 20 minutes to get it preheated and ready to go because it's a different kind of heat. Versus you can spend 20 minutes in getting a charcoal kettle going and be ready to rock and roll once you drop those coals and give that grate a pre-cook. So to get it going, all you really need is a charcoal chimney. And that's going to be a device that's going to help move air underneath the flame up into the briquettes to start them quickly and efficiently. And then also some sort of starter cube or a lighter cube to get that fire going right away. And, it's always funny. I use those Weber wax lighter cubes. And whenever we do a video for Weber, it's always like, what are those marshmallows you're burning? I'm like, no, it's a starter cube. It's wax. It leaves no odor. It's not lighter fluid. They light instantaneously. Then they're gone. They work great. And literally in 20 minutes, that thing can be up and going.
What about from a heat control standpoint? What's the best way to manage that?
Learn your vents. You've got a top vent and a bottom vent, and you can set that bottom vent to restrict how much oxygen comes into the kettle to keep a lower temperature. And then you can open up all the way to go for high heat. But even with that lid down and those vents open, that grill is only going to produce so much heat. If you really want to get those coals rocking and rolling, you would not actually put the lid on. You leave it open. And sometimes when I'm doing photography, I want those coals lit because it makes the grill look alive and it's for action. So I'll leave the grill off. Those coals will get burning hot. But under actually cooking, like, you're doing steaks or chops or whatever, keep that lid down. It's going to keep that temperature in a totally usable range. And you're going to have great results. And it's so much easier, less floor space, less expensive. And it's just the absolute best.
Do you have a preference over charcoal briquette or lump charcoal?
I usually use briquettes quite a bit, just because it's versatile. Number one, I know how many I'm going to get, what kind of heat it's going to produce. Now, if I know I'm going to do steaks and I want a really hot fire that's going to burn quick, I'll use lump. And sometimes in the Kamado, I'll use lump as well. But predominantly, I kind of gravitate more towards briquettes.
What I love about kettle cooking the most, especially when we're talking of grilling temperatures, if you have anything with fat in it, at some point, there's propensity for flare-up. If you're not thinking, you become very nervous. Maybe you're flipping the grill or you're flipping the meat if you're setting up two zone, you're moving the meat off the heat, going it into where there's no coals, try and get the flames to die back down. But, as soon as you put it back over on the heat, we're going to have another fire incident. People seem to forget sometimes, especially the beginners to intermediates, there's a lid. Put that thing right on top of the kettle and it chokes out the majority of air, at least enough, unless you're talking about an incredibly, incredibly fatty piece of meat. You're typically able to reduce the amount of oxygen that's in that cooker to the point where it knocks down all the flames. And now you're just getting a good benefit of nice, healthy smoke perfuming on that meat. And you're able to control that temperature much better. But I think sometimes the beginner to intermediate forgets that you can put that lid on and it takes the flames away.
Yeah, it's actually very funny relation. Just last week, I was down in Charleston, South Carolina, and I was doing food for a Ace Hardware Weber grill commercial. And one of the scenes was going to be for the 26-inch Weber kettle, which was loaded with these huge, awesome 2-inch thick ribeyes. But of course, we're filming this, so the lid's open, and those things are dripping fat. And the talent, which was an Ace employee, she was so wonderful, but she was dying because that thing is just lit up, and they're looking for reaction shots, not necessarily food on the grate shots. But once they said cut, I'm like, put that lid down. It's going to kill the smoke a little bit and make everyone live a little bit longer. Beautiful aesthetics, but oh my gosh, yeah, that lid is definitely your friend.
I wanted to touch base with you on that. When you are at a commercial shoot for something like you had just mentioned, how much work goes into something like that? We see, a 30-second to a minute finished spot that's going to end up either on YouTube or on television, maybe a combination of both. But what's the actual full experience like for somebody that's being brought in specifically for that purpose?
You're talking about, usually for Ace, it's been a one production day. That day is at least 10 hours long, of which you are a part of that. Plus you've got a 10-hour day beforehand for pre-production and for prep and for shopping. When the commercial is done, you're talking a 15-second or a 30-second spot. And all that work that you did is going to be on there for maybe 2 seconds. So you figure the last 3 Ace productions I've done the food for, the one in the fall was for a Blackstone griddle in the parking lot, and a storm was coming in, and literally the production reassembled out in the lot for us to grab literally a 2-second shot. But you're talking after a 10-hour day of getting everything ready to go.
Wow.
It's crazy. But that's what goes into it. You just never know. You're looking for that magic moment where things combine. You're looking at people that are around an appliance and they're cooking, and you're also trying to make sure the food looks right and resetting the food. It's like a ballet almost. I love it. It can be stressful, but I'm not getting shot at. So for me, it's a different kind of stress. I'm like, this is great. But it's truly amazing how much work and talent that people put into those things for what a small output that there is.
How many production people and cameras and nonsense are all going on for a 10-hour day?
Last shoot was easily 25 to 30 people.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Wow.
What kind of money investment do you think we're looking at here?
I have no idea.
Thousands?
I know
thousands of dollars.
Oh, without a doubt.
Tens of thousands
of
dollars.
You are putting out a product that is going to be viewed by X number. I always laugh because typically I go into some of my favorite places with DirecTV, and that like an Ace commercial is on like literally every 15 minutes. I go, oh, that's my rib roast. Oh, that's my turkey. Oh, I did that. So you're going to see a lot of eyeballs. So if you are going to capture that many people, you want to make sure it looks absolutely amazing, and the time and effort goes into it to have that kind of output. I totally get it. It's great. And plus they're just such wonderful people to work with. It makes it almost like it's not work, and what you produce is amazing.
Don't they want you in front of the camera?
No. The cool thing about Ace commercials, they use Ace employees as the talent. So when you see an Ace commercial, it is people that actually work for Ace. So it could be a store owner, somebody at corporate. So they truly invest in their own to do that. So every commercial, when you see somebody, they work for Ace, and it shows through.
They're
My
legit.
hands. I'll flip a steak and stuff.
Do you prefer to be behind the scenes, like being the conductor of the whole thing versus being it? You have perhaps one of the most unique perspectives on this, because for years and years and years, it was anotherpintplease.com. It was Mike doing videos of himself, and you're cooking, you're on the back deck at the house. Then it's, going here to the grill studio. And now in this role, which isn't new necessarily, but you're working behind the scenes and making other people look like $1 million. Do you prefer one over the other, or do both have their merits?
They both have their merits. It's a good question. It's funny. I enjoy being on set and talking somebody through what they're going to do. I had one guy, I had him on the fall, and then again, this last week. Not a big griller, but I go, we're going to do this. You're going to come out of this as a griddle pro, and talking through the steps of what they're going to do, and teach them, and grab this and do this, and you can flip it like this or flip it like that or hold it like this. I enjoy that. But I do enjoy being in front of the camera as well. And then today, it's funny, I shot my first video in over, with my own stuff in like 6 weeks because of everything else I've been doing. And I kind of felt like I had to put the training wheels on again. Like, I should probably plan this out a little bit better, but we'll see what happens. It's sort of against the wall and see what sticks. But I'm lucky to have the flexibility to do what I do through Another Pint Please, and then all my work for Weber and for Ace and other side projects. It's great.
You had told me when you were getting ready to retire, you were a little concerned that you might be working more retired than you were working when you were working. True?
Unbelievably true. I don't know how I did all the years we talked before doing what I did versus what I'm doing now, and having this great space to do it in the studio and everything else. It's unbelievable.
You've authored a book called One Beer Grilling that went on to cataclysmic fame. Is the book bug biting you again at all, or are we good with one beer grilling?
Well, you were too kind, number one. Number two, yes. Actually, I will say we will tease the fact that a big announcement will be coming at the end of next month.
All right.
But a book has been written. A book has been photographed. We'll talk about it. I look forward to talking about it when I can talk about it.
Yeah.
It's very exciting what the topic is. It's not a Mike Lang book per se, but it certainly is a Mike Lang book because he wrote it and photographed it. But it was came out of left field a little bit. But man, it's exciting. And I've always said if something scares you, do it.
Yeah.
And personal life, professional life,
yeah.
And certainly this is something that kind of I was a little bit scared of doing. But I'm still alive, amazingly, and I'm super proud of it. And I can't wait to talk about it more.
I think if my math is correct, we are sitting almost 6 months to the day away from a Grillfest 2025 down in Hartville, Ohio at Hartville Hardware. Are you locked and loaded for 2025's Grillfest?
I am locked and loaded.
All right. Very good. Are you already conjuring up what kind of recipes you're going to be doing? Joe, I don't know if you know this, but Mike is a live talent down at the Hartville Hardware Grillfest for the last handful of years. I, of course, MC the event and help these people through their demos, but, they try and conjure up some great recipes and do the talk-throughs during this. It's a great event. I don't know if you've ever been down there, but any recipes off the top of the head, Mike, that you might be incorporating this year?
Yeah, it's funny. No, actually, funny you mentioned I've been going back to what I have done and thinking, what am I going to do to top that? Mm-hmm. I know you gave me some stick last year for doing the beer can chicken, which I thought was a great idea. But I don't know. I'm determined to figure something good out, but I do not know what it is yet, but I cannot wait to do it.
I didn't ask you this at the lead, so I'll ask you as we exit the YouTube poll question of the week, Mike. Did you know how the Michelin Star Guide really worked prior to either Robert Moss telling us or Daniel Vaughn telling us last week?
No, I did not. I was shocked.
80% of the YouTube voting public saying they did not know, even though Daniel Vaughn insulted me in the highest order last week, saying, when people like you. I mean, who says that to the host of a show that has you on quarterly? And I have him on under protest 4 times a year. But to sit there and tell me when people like you find out, I had no idea. In fact, I'm going to be asking the mayor about this next segment. So, Joe, hold on to your hat for this, what could be very controversial segment on Michelin Star Guides and how it might relate to Wickliffe. Mike, anything else going on before I let you go tonight?
No, those are the high points, Greg. As always, it's so good to hook up with you, Mr. Mayor. Pleasure by all means to be in your company. And things are good. It's going to be a crazy year. I'm excited. Can't wait for Hartville, Greg. It's good things are going.
All right, Mike, we'll see you in 3 months.
Mike, nice talking with you, brother.
Mike Lang,
you guys
right
take
there.
Care.
Yep.
AnotherPintPlease.com is his website. There's the shot I'm looking for, me and Joe right there. I meant to turn the monitor over so you could see a little bit there. Maybe
I don't know
I'll get it over. That's all right. I mean, you look handsome. I mean, how much more do you need, right? I mean, you're a guy that is
in his
professional.
50s. And,
We're all in our 50s. We're all friends around here in our 50s these days. All right. So that was Mike Lang. Once again, he is at anotherpintplease.com on the websites and on Instagram. He is also at Another Pint Please. So if you're not following him, give him a follow and visit the website. And you can check him out here every 3rd month. So we will see him again at the end of June, where we'll be able to talk more about that new book that he's talking about. Very coy. I'm always a month away from somebody being able to tell me some great news. It always happens. Nobody's ever coming on the show to break news. Rarely. All right, Joe Sakis is going to be sitting right here and talking to us in just a minute. Before we get to him, I will talk about the Primo Grill. What do we love about ceramic cookers in general? Well, we love that they're fuel efficient. We love that you can achieve low and slow temperatures for traditional barbecue meats. We love that you can get rip-roaring hot for the high-temperature grilling of steaks and other thin cuts. But what's missing in the everyday lineup of ceramic cookers? The real ability to do true two-zone cooking. Two-zone cooking is very important to both professional and backyard cooks alike. The best way to manage a fire and cook with confidence. However, getting a two-zone fire in a round ceramic cooker is not very realistic. Why? Because it's round. Enter Primo Grill and their game-changing oval design. The shape gives you the ability to execute that two-zone setup that you desire, also giving you other ceramic grill benefits as well. And when you break it down, there's more than 60 different ways to cook on the Primo. So you're only limited by your culinary imagination. All the goodies that you want from an accessory standpoint, pizza grill accessory, Primo Grill rotisserie accessory, and a whole bunch of other stuff in between. The bottom line is this: best ceramics in the biz, patented technology, true two-zone cooking capabilities, and multiple sizes of ovals, only sold through dealers. So go to primogrill.com, find a dealer near you, and then let the fun go on from there. Follow them on Facebook and Instagram. It's primogrill.com. We're back with the mayor of Wickliffe, Ohio, right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rempe. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Pit Barrel Cooker, the most unbelievable outdoor cooking device on the planet, currently available in 3 sizes with a host of accessories. Doesn't matter if you're a beginner or a professional, it's a cooker you want to add to the arsenal. Visit pitbarrelcooker.com and tell them the Barbecue Central Show sent you. We also thank our pal Mike Lang for joining us last segment at anotherpintplease.com. All right, this is the mayoral segment of the show, first ever mayoral segment of the show. Joe Sack is joining us here from the great city of Wickliffe, Ohio. Joe, prior to the political stuff, what's the background on a Joe Sack? Because I don't know if I've ever known the full background of where Joe came from.
All right. Well, I'll tell you in a nutshell here first. You know, I was a guy, had a bunch of different jobs, worked at restaurants, worked at bars. And then I met my wife, my girlfriend at the time. And when we got married, I started a business. I worked for a guy, draft beer lines. I don't know if you knew this, have to be, the state of Ohio had to be serviced, maintained, running properly. And I had a company, Ohio Draft. I did that for close to 20 years. COVID crushed it. COVID really took, I had a lot of hotel accounts and those got wiped away, but everything. And also in 2011, my niece asked me to, I'm a music guy, right? I used to play in bands, sing, all that stuff. And she needed a DJ for her wedding. She couldn't afford a DJ, so I borrowed some equipment from my buddy, and we wung it. Me and my wife wung it, and everybody said, hey, do you do this all the time? And that's when it clicked. And after that, about 6 months later, I was able to purchase DJ equipment, and I do that on the weekend. So I am probably the only mayor.
Wow.
I only do weddings, private events, or special events, private parties. I take the winter months off because it gets kind of crazy busy. But yes, It is a good. It's good. It's being in charge of people's good time, and it kind of coincides with what I do as mayor, is being a people pleaser, right? That's what you got to do in this game.
You got to tell me about this Ohio draft lines.
Okay. So
I didn't even know anything about this. I knew the DJ stuff, obviously, but and then for 20 years.
yeah, so 2021. Actually, it's funny. I was working at my buddy's bar in South Euclid, Ohio, and the guy who used to come in and do it, I was talking to him. I'm like, yeah, how do you get into this? He kind of told me this, that, the other. So I started working for this guy in 2001. My interview was on 9/11, so he had to cancel the interview.
Wow.
Started in October, and it's simple. It doesn't take a long time. You got to go to these bars. I had at one point when I was on my own, I purchased my own company in 2004, had about 80 accounts, worked for myself. All the way northeast Ohio, from Macedonia, Wickliffe, Menor, you name it. And you go in and the draft beer lines, when that beer sits, yeast and build up and nastiness, you see, I hate this word, but snot come out of that beer lines. Well, I prevented snot.
Wow.
Coming out of beer lines. And it's good. And you meet people and you're in a different location. It's not monotonous. And it was just something that I did, but then there's a company, I will not say their name, came out with an electric beer line cleaning system.
Uh-oh.
And they also clean pop, or they provide pop lines, soda lines. So they end up they wiped the small business guy, but I still hung on there. Not a lot of people trust people behind their bars, right? So a lot stayed with me. But man, once COVID hit, that crushed a lot of places, but it actually worked out. That's when I was on council, and everything kind of meshed together. And then I became mayor, and so mayor and the DJ is what I primarily do now.
So when you were doing the draft line stuff, are you going in to bars, let's say, or places that had draft lines and like making a sale and then providing the service, or are they just reaching out to you, or were you an all-in-one?
No, so they existing draft lines. I didn't install them.
Yeah,
I would go in and word of mouth. I really didn't advertise because I purchased a company from a guy who was in the business for like 40 years, right? Yeah. And word of mouth, and then you wouldn't believe when you meet the Budweiser guy or the towel guy, hey, give me your card, kind of spawns from there. But you just go in there, you check their lines, and the liquor control used to be real tight, right? They would check your sheet. You got to sign a sheet, right? And they got to make sure you're cleaning your lines. A lot of places didn't. They would sign that sheet themselves because it's depending on how, it's $5 a line, right? So some places it could get costly.
Yeah.
So some people would not clean their lines or didn't even know to until that health board shows up or liquor control. So a lot of people do. So rest assured that most people in this town do have good, clean draft beer lines, but because believe me, I've had bad drafts before.
Well, you scared the shit out of me because you said that snot could come out of those draft lines. So I've always been a huge fan of draft beer, but perhaps it's only going to be the can or the bottle for me. Or I want to see that beer coming out.
Yeah, I will not
no
drink
snot.
draft.
I don't want to see any snot coming out of those lines.
After what I've seen in some draft beer, I do not. I will not drink draft. You notice some people will say you get buzzed quicker on a draft beer.
Yeah, a lot of people love draft beer.
Now you know why.
Summer shandy on draft. Yeah, because you're drinking snot, you dummies.
Oh, the beer companies.
Born and raised. Cleveland guy, Wickliffe guy?
Yeah, I was born right down the street, Lake West Hospital there in 1972. My family, Wickliffe, my grandparents, they came here 1921.
Wow.
So I'm fourth generation. Wickliffe's my whole life. When me and my wife decided to, raise our family, stay here, we started seeing some of the decline. You'd always hear, things are going bad. Things are going. We lost a big company back in like 2017, and that's when you see all this negative stuff on social media. Everybody, if you're not, you could be part of the problem or part of the solution.
Yep.
And me and my wife had to talk about it, and that's when I decided to run for city council. But when I was on city council, we had kind of a rogue mayor. And there was a lot of friction. If you don't have a mayor and a council that that are flowing together, then it's just going to be a lot of headbutting. Not everybody's going to agree. Absolutely. But if you guys have the same goals, the same mentality, then you could get a lot further. So I knew that being the mayor, I could get a lot more done that I wanted to do when I was a councilman.
When you decide, maybe the better question is, as you're getting through your experience on the council side of things, do you also, and then you're having an abrasive mayor on top of it,
right?
Are you immediately saying, hey, this council thing is great, I'm getting a lot accomplished? I mean, when I lived in Wickliffe, I was literally, was it less than a block away from you guys? Maybe a block.
2 streets over.
Yeah, just run right through a couple backyards and we're right there. Different wards, but we were very close to each other. Do you say, this council thing is great, but I definitely don't like this guy as mayor? Not only that, I believe I could do a much better job as mayor. What kind of a conversation do you have with your wife, Megan, on going from this level to now the highest level of politics in the city?
Well, it was simple as this. We thought the mayor was good. We knew, and when I say we, the community knew things were going awry. Losing this company had like 900 employees.
This is ABB?
Yeah. ABB, Bailey Meters. When this company was leaving, there was a lot of things. We have Euclid Avenue in Wickliffe is our main thoroughfare. It's a 2.5 mile stretch, right? And you just saw a lot of vacant buildings, a lot of, it just looked tired and drab. And the mayor at the time wasn't worried about, we had plenty of money in the bank. And I'm not saying, hey, spend through this money, but it's the taxpayers' money, and that the payback for the taxes are good services, good amenities, and that he was cutting service. He wasn't doing what at the time we needed done. And so that's when, me and my wife spoke, and I said, listen, I think we'll be a lot more successful. I know, what the people want. I know what we want as residents. And so that's, led me to the charge. And I think it was a pretty big victory, 80% in state of Ohio when I ran against them. And so when, getting elected and then being the mayor are two different things, because now you got to put up or shut up. And so and here's just something I just want to mention. Wickliffe is a very rare city. Most cities, our council have unlimited term limits. In the city of Wickliffe, it gets presidential terms. You only get 2 terms, 8 years. Every other city around us is unlimited terms, mayor. And so then I knew that, and that's good, but you have some mayors need 6-7 years just to get going.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I hit the gate running. I want to make an impact, and I want to make my family proud, the people proud, because there's a lot to do. But when I'm done, I want to be able to look back and say, hey, this is what I accomplished.
How much do you follow social media? I have to imagine it can be rewarding sometimes if you're looking for echo chamber, but it can also be a kick in the dick.
Yeah, I try to. There's a couple pages in Wickliffe that I try to stay away from because it will rise my blood pressure on the people on this. They don't go to council meetings. They're keyboard warriors, and they know how to razz you up. But I have a Facebook page, which the other mayors, I'm pretty close with all the other mayors, and they joke, call me the Facebook mayor. But I do this Facebook page. I got a few thousand followers. It's such a great way to communicate information.
Yep.
It really is. And I put that on the city website, but it is one simple thing that I do a couple times a month, I do business spotlights and city updates. And it just blows my mind that not a lot of mayors do that. I don't think any mayors, Willoughby mayor, he does do a mayor's corner once a month, very professional. I do mine on my phone in my office, but it's perfect. It's that laid back, I want to make myself approachable, but I want to show people. That's the thing. People think that, politicians are sneaky. And by doing this and keep them in the loop, even if it's bad news, they're getting the news. So that goes a long way. and I say it's been successful, and that's one of the best parts of the job, and is doing those videos or updates.
You gonna do it again?
So this year is my 4th year of my first term. As of right now, I am running unopposed. The election is in November. I just had a couple signings to get. You have to get a certain amount of signatures to get on the ballot, and I got plenty of signatures. But I went to a couple businesses and told people on my social media site, "Hey, come if you want to sign my petition." It was a good thing to do because people could come in. You could talk to some of the people you haven't met, and if they have complaints or they want to give you compliments, it's just it's nice rather than going house to house to house for signature. It was good to have these people come to businesses in the city. It was nice. Did that the last couple weeks. So
if you're unopposed at this point, you can't imagine that somebody's going to pop up. I would.
You never know. They have till July. My thing is, hey, if it ain't broke, why fix it? I'm going to finish what I started. There's so much happening. The first 2 years, the first year, I should say, is like cleaning things up, getting things locked down. But then the last 2 years was getting all the dominoes in a row. And now Euclid Avenue, if you're from the Northeast, this region, Lake County, you drive down Euclid Avenue in Wickliffe, and so much is happening. And it's just nice to see that the payoff, because people would say, so many people, and that's what drives me, is the negative people. That building should have been torn down. Euclid Avenue is they're not going to build $500,000 houses in the middle of town. They're doing it.
Yeah.
Pretty well-known developers actually invested in the land. So when that kind of stuff happens and you beat the odds, or that's the rewarding part of it. I mean, there's some times where I have some days, here's Monday mornings when you come in and listen. When I go into the office on Mondays and I listen to voicemails from the weekend, oh my Lord, I'd love to play some of those on. But that's part of the job. You're like, oh, why am I doing this? But the rewarding part, really makes up for it.
The last 6 or 7 months, especially the last small handful of Joe Sackis updates through Facebook. There was one that you did recently where you're like racing around all of Wickliffe and saying, hey, remember how this was a vacant lot? Here's what's going to be happening here. Here's where we plowed down the middle school and the elementary school. This is where these $500,000 homes are going to be going up. Here's a new senior living apartment complex, but I'm probably going to move into in 10 years when I sell this place and move back, get rid of kids, and move in there. And then you did something with this huge bowling alley and the McDonald's. Like, nobody understands what I'm saying here because we're all over the country. But to understand what Joe has been able to accomplish just on that alone, which is like very close to accessing 90 in either direction, and just before you would get into a different city, Euclid, that had laid dormant, and who the hell knows what was even going on in there. But you were able to secure a business to come in to the bowling alley, and then that McDonald's thing with the sign and the fiasco of paperwork. And
right.
Somehow you're able to knock that out. And just on that alone, re-election should be a drop in the bucket.
Yeah, I don't like to count my chickens. Right. So people are like, oh, you're a shoe. I never think, I always act like I'm going to lose because it keeps me on top of my game.
I can't tell you who can do what you're doing right now. And with the passion, I don't know anybody that loves Wickliffe, maybe short of Ed Levant, who we love in Ward 4.
It's our council president.
I don't know anybody that loves Wickliffe more than Joe Sachs. Like, you love the city, and it shows. And I don't live there anymore. I just love following you and seeing what you're doing with the city, what you're able to accomplish, because I go into the city many times. Our daughters are very good friends.
Right.
I spend a lot of money in that city. So to see it go from like mediocre to once again Wickliffe City on the rise and a desirable place to go, I think it speaks volumes to what you've been able to accomplish here over the last couple of years. And through the first 2 years of getting it set, but then really putting rubber to the road those last 2 years. I think you get in that next 4 years, and Wickliffe is going to be a diamond.
Well, that's the thing. I want, every 8 years you start over, right? But I want it set so that it's easy for the next mayor. It was said back in 1999, 2000, our team was in the playoffs for football, and a guy said it, and it stuck with me. It said, Wickliffe, if you blink, it's a city surrounded by 3 freeways with nothing but heart in the middle. And it is. It's like Greg, for example. I knew him a few years. He doesn't live in Wickliffe, but he's been there. He's part of the family. I consider him family just because our kids went to the school. He was a Wickliffite,
yeah.
However you want to call it. But I got his back. And people of Wickliffe, like you say, you don't know no one who loves it. There are so many people that love the city. It's just that I wanna do something about it, and have these people's back and let them know I'm fighting for them. There's a lot of things that come at you, but I'm the guy that's gonna fight for them.
All right, now we're going to get controversial.
Yep, let's do it.
Are there any barbecue restaurants in Wickliffe?
So, no. At the present time...
Can I make a pitch?
Yeah, yeah, so about that News Herald. The News Herald reached out to us mayors and said, do you have anybody that you have a barbecue restaurant that you want to highlight in the News Herald? That's our local paper. And we don't have a barbecue restaurant, but I immediately thought of Greg. I said, hey, we got a guy who lives in Willoughby, but he used to live in Wickliffe. He runs this awesome podcast, Barbecue Central, and she couldn't wait to do a story on him. So,
Great one.
So if you came, you're an upstanding. We like good people, right? We like people who open businesses who are good people. I got your back. I might even come in and volunteer a couple hours a week.
I have to make a couple requests.
Yes, sir.
This is where it gets really sketchy.
No abatements. I'm kidding.
No abatements? I still don't know what it means 15 minutes later.
It took me a couple years. Right?
The best place that I see in Wickliffe to make a barbecue business that I envision being successful work happens to be at a location that is currently in business. It's a location that many consider to be a jewel of the city. But it's the only location that will work for me and what I think would be successful. What do you think the chances are that you and I can kick Jerry's Dairy Pride out and bring the Barbecue Central Show restaurant into town?
Well,
that's a yes. I think I heard a yes.
No, I want you at the Sandbar. You familiar with the Sandbar? It looks like it's that building, Stonehenge, we call it. It's next to the drive-through beverage. For those of you that don't know, this is this building. 20 years been empty, but it looks beautiful. The guy who owns it, he saves his money. He makes it. Does the concrete, the brickwork, but he's just trying to make it perfect, waiting for the right tenant. And when you said that, I could see your barbecue smoking and cooking and coming out of there. And we don't have to kick Jerry out. Jerry's been there for 60 plus years. But he wants to boot an ice cream guy. But
I need that guy to get out of there because that's the best place for me to do barbecue. I could have some smokers in the back or do a little some kind of renovation in the back. And then people just walk up to the window. I push the food out. I don't want to deal with inside restaurants and waitresses and a couple part-time kids to help push the barbecue out. Maybe bring a pitmaster or two along. Maybe you, as a retirement after the mayor job, you can be my pitmaster hand. But that's the kind of setup that I envision being a successful barbecue restaurant. I don't know how big of a line I'm going to have when it's 20 degrees outside. Maybe I pull a Jerry and go to Florida for 5 months out of the year. But, I want to be, if I'm going to come, then I want to be there operating 12 months out of the year, giving you full-time tax revenue and employment revenue or however you make the money for the city. I want to be that participant for you, but Jerry's has got to go.
Well, I want you there, but there's other spots, Greg. We'll have to talk. You can't. It sounds like I got the biggest ultimatum of my life. I will find you a place that is perfect. I promise. If it's the last thing I do.
Any other big item on the horizon that we should be following you for, like, that you see coming down, or some big announcement?
Well, I've mentioned this place where you say the bowling alley. OLA, not everybody knows what OLA, online liquidation auctions. They're like the Amazon of auctions. It's the people get addicted to it. It's an app on your phone, and they're coming. They bring about 1,100 cars a day to their location. They sell 35,000 items a week. 3 brother-in-laws.
Wow.
In their garage. They started this 10 years ago. So that's big. Everybody's excited. They'll open in about 6 months.
All right. So we're looking forward to that. This is Joe Sakis, the mayor of Wickliffe, and my pal. And we've shared many a volleyball match where I schooled Joe on the finer points of scoring, and when you reach a certain number in the scoring system, how that pretty much guarantees a game. Although you were live and in person when that backfired on me.
Right. Oh, yeah. Wait. You got to give me 2 seconds to just tell a great story. All right. When about the first couple years of knowing Greg, and I told him, this just really stuck with me. So I know it was a joke, but we were waiting. It was our 8th grade. Our kids are graduated now, but it was their 8th grade celebration. We were standing there, and that's when I decided to run for council. And I told Greg, and we were talking about it real quick. And Greg goes, and this is the sense of humor I love. He goes, "Do you got an opponent?" And I said, "Yeah, it's this guy. I'm running against him." And Greg looks at me and goes, "Should we kill him?" And at that time, I needed to hear that. That was just so funny. And then all of a sudden, the kids come out of school, and I'm like, "Yes, Greg, let's do that." Yeah. So just the great guy. And Greg, thank you seriously for having me and speaking those kind words of me.
No doubt. This is Joe Sakis, and we're going to go ahead and get ready to close this first hour. We're a little over, but conversation well worth it, no doubt about it. So stick around, and we will be right back.
Hey, this is John Dawson of Patio Daddy-O Barbecue in Boise, Idaho, and I've got it locked on the 50,000 gigawatt blowtorch of the internet that is Barbecue Central.
Continuing to produce incredibly mediocre content in an exceptionally professional way. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. Once again, here's your host, Greg Rempe.
And we are back. Going to be tightening it up here. We thank Joe Sakis for his in-studio segment. He'll be joining us in the second hour as we get ready for the 100% Assurity questions. If you've missed the first hour, don't worry, we're recording. Podcast will show up next day, or as we call it, Wednesday. If you are going to be tuning in late to the second hour, or you're leaving after this first hour, I don't suggest you do that, by the way. Then the second hour's podcast will be up on Thursday. We'll talk about all that here in the next segment. So stick around. You're listening and watching the Barbecue Central Show. We'll be right back.
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
Boing. We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Hit me!
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan.
Boing.
So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the charbono, dude!
Succulent fish. What?
He ate 2 feet for wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shut your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
We have top men working on it right now. Top men.
And just like that, we are into the second hour. It's the Barbecue Central Show, where we talk about all things that are important in the world of barbecue and grilling. If you missed the first hour, shame on you, but there will be a podcast for the first hour, releasing tomorrow. Second hour will be on Thursday, and we'll talk about Friday here in a second. Still to come on the show this evening, the embedded correspondents will be loading in. And, of course, Joe Sakis will also be sitting in for that segment as well. The show originating from
Palm City, USA, Cleveland.
Joe, do you know why they call it Bomb City?
Yes, I do.
You do?
1978,
All right.
1976. Yeah.
He knows. He's a Clevelander. He knows what's going on.
Danny Green.
A lot of people. Every week I get, what's with Bomb City, USA? And I have like the Wikipedia link that I just send it right over. I'm like, read this, and then always get back, whoa, I had no idea. I'd be like, mid-'70s through the mid-'80s, while New York City was having their battle of organized crime with the five families, Cleveland was merely an extension of not only organized crime, but you had a lot of motorcycle impropriety going on with the Hells Angels and the Breed down in the Akron area, and fighting meant bombing.
Wickliffe played a pretty big part of a couple of those guys, and actually I could show you off record someday where they hid out, where somebody hid out some of those guys when they were being looked for. I know where they were hiding, but I will not reveal because I'm not waking up enough.
That's right. I'm not waking up with my throat slit.
With cement shoes. No
way.
thing.
No way. All right. We say good evening to those of you watching tonight through one of our video streaming platforms, Facebook.com/BBQ Central Show or Twitter.com/BBQ Central Show. You can also watch on YouTube, which is youtube.com/@BBQ Central Show, where we have a new YouTube poll question of the week that we're asking everybody, including all guests. Joe will ask you next segment. Did you know how the Michelin Star Guide really worked prior to Robert Moss and Daniel Vaughn talking about it here over the last number of weeks? And 75% of you are saying no. You had no idea. In fact, Joe, let's go to you. Did you know how the Michelin Star Guide works? Or do you know how it works?
Well, I was trying to Google it.
Yeah, I caught you.
That's what all I know about the Michelin guide is a movie with Bradley Cooper, right? Where
where he was the chef or whatever.
Yeah, chef. It might have been. That's all.
Let me ask you this. So, if the state of Ohio paid, I'm making up numbers, $8 million to get the Michelin Star Guide to come to the state, which evidently this is how it transpires.
Okay.
Because Texas just had a number of Michelin Star rated restaurants show up in Dallas and Houston and 3, 4, 5 other cities.
Okay.
What we've come to find out is that the state ponied up, let's say, half of the millions of dollars, and then those other states funded the other side of that, whatever total amount was. And those states that helped fund the other side of it had the Michelin Star folks show up to eat at restaurants, and all of a sudden you got Michelin Star rated restaurants. So would it be out of the realm of possibility that if Ohio said, hey, we're going to pay half of whatever the fee is, any city in Ohio that's interested that wants to pay X amount, we could literally have Michelin Star rated restaurants coming out of Wickliffe if we had the coffers that deep?
Yeah, Ohio's too cheap. That'll never happen. Sorry. When you were saying that Texas got oil money, they're not coming off of that for food, but yeah.
So I'm just saying, like,
out of the realm.
From a high level and just throwing it up against the wall kind of a situation. It's a possibility.
Well, now that I've heard about this, and now I'll make that a goal.
Yeah, we could have the Italian place up by the church. Vittorio's could be a Michelin Star rated restaurant.
Yeah, that's one of the fancier restaurants in the city of Wickliffe.
We frequent there fairly.
I do. We just went there last week for date night.
Yeah.
Me and my wife.
Ever since they got rid of that one guy, that place has been a lot better.
That's so funny you even say that. We were talking 5 minutes. Me and my wife were talking about Bob. I can't even believe you brought that up right now. Yeah, that's crazy that you just say that.
Yeah. Well, so Maddie and one of her friends used to be hostesses.
Yeah, Aubrey worked there because of Bob. She quit 3 days.
Yeah, right. So he was a very abrasive character. I seem to get along with everybody. So, like, I immediately see through this guy and what the shtick is, where he believes he's
New York,
the owner and a tough guy.
He mooched
and
off the owner.
whatever. Yeah, but his wife was the owner, and so she ends up doing away with it. And all of a sudden, the mood lifts, and there's just a little different vibe.
I'm blown away you're even bringing this up right now. Yes, he yelled at my mother-in-law. My mother-in-law is the nicest lady, and he treated her so badly. I went in there. I was like, why is Bob giving my mother-in-law? And seriously, a couple weeks later, Bob was gone.
That was it.
I think it was that Bob was just mad because his gravy train was coming to an end.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it came to an end because the place is better for it. But if you're ever in town and you're looking for a good Italian meal,
cheesecake,
and there's plenty of
cheesecake, unbelievable.
Yeah, and look, I'm a guy that will take a Italian restaurant. My gauge of how good is it? How good are the spaghetti and meatballs? I think I get spaghetti and meatballs at Vittorio's more than anything else, and there's a lot of really good things on the menu.
That
but
chicken
I just
parm deal
chicken
on
parm is
Wednesdays
crazy.
was like 20
2
buy
for one.
2 for 1 on Wednesdays. Yeah, my wife just got this. I get the Alfredo with. I don't even like vegetables, but their vegetables are
Very
so
good.
soft and good.
So good.
Now I'm hungry again.
I still have no food for the
How do
night.
we have a barbecue show with no barbecue going on?
All I know is if you're in the mood for horse meat,
No.
I do have the ability for processing, cooking, and buying horse meat for human consumption. Back when it was legal. So
I'm having nightmares
or
tonight.
just
Really?
or
That's
just a
awesome.
reference guide of history at this
So
point.
people did eat horse.
Oh, through history, people ate horse. Absolutely.
I guess back then they didn't have
When-
Kobe.
When beef was too expensive or became hard to come by, then horse always made an appearance. And
Was there ever a good reference of good horse meat?
I mean, not that I could sit here and tell you, but it was processed here in the States, but then shipped off to Mexico or shipped off to Canada for, I think, up until the mid-'70s, maybe early '80s. You couldn't eat it, but you could still technically do it, but there's no, I don't want to bore you with my horse details, trying to make it a
Learn
grassroots
something new every
movement
day.
of
I
my
get
own.
on board.
But the government will not subsidize like they do in the beef processing. So you have FDA inspectors in the meat plants.
Ruin everything.
They pay for that. So it's been known well up front that if you wanted to process horse meat, you would have to pay full boat USD inspector, and that makes it a financially effective non-start at that point.
What makes sense? Makes sense.
Plus, everybody's so worried about the cute horses. Like, you have a
Yeah,
problem
but
with
cows are cute.
I guess not.
But guess what? They taste great.
All
right.
So on the fence, on one side of the fence, you have a dog, a cat, and a horse. On the other side of the fence is every animal ever. What other animal have you never heard of people eating?
Well, skunk.
Iguana. No, I'm sure people eat skunk. Squirrels.
Yeah, squirrel. I got a
chipmunk,
cousin that eats squirrel.
Rats. Beavers. And then all the other normal stuff that you eat.
Peacock. Do people eat peacock?
Pheasant.
Right. No,
Everything.
you're right.
How did the horse make it over?
Well, in other countries, they eat cats.
I know. Well, I'm not a cat fan, so you're not going to go
I'm not a cat.
I don't
I'm
like.
not a cat fan. And did you know that some of the best coffee in the world comes from cat species? I can't even say that word.
Species?
Did you? Yes.
What are you
I
talking
am
about?
telling. There's people out there know that there are cat species that make this coffee ground. It's crazy. I'm a coffee freak. I love coffee.
Yeah.
But some of the best coffee comes from cat. Look it up. Don't take my word for it. Yes, that is true. Himalayan cat. I don't know, but look it up. It's crazy.
The good news is this: in about
Where do we
5
go with
seconds
it?
from now, I have a coffee expert that is sitting on our panel
Excellent.
who is re-engaging after a 2-month hiatus because he had some work. We let him pass for that.
That is good news.
I'm going to ask him about
Please,
cat feces coffee. So,
Yes.
John, be ready. I'm coming to you right out of the break, talking about cat feces coffee.
That's no
as
joke.
related to me by the mayor here of Wickliffe. All right. Stand by. We're going to talk to the embedded correspondents here in a second. Before we do that, let's talk about the barbecue diet program. Joe, perk up your ears for this. Are you tired of diets that make you choose between good food and real results? Well, you don't have to anymore. David McDowell has cracked the code. His personalized fat loss coaching for barbecue lovers lets you eat foods you love, like ribs and brisket and wings, still lose the weight, get lean, feel amazing. This isn't some fad. It's a proven system that includes barbecue-friendly meal plans, tailored health strategies, and weekly check-ins, so you're never guessing, never alone, and never forced to give up what you love. And if you want to be part of something bigger, to surround yourself with like-minded barbecue lovers who are dropping weight, getting stronger, and staying motivated, then online, the Barbecue Diet Group is where you need to be. Here's the deal. You can keep struggling on your own, or you can finally plug into a system that works. Join now, get exclusive access to expert coaching, real-world strategies, and support crew that won't fail you. And I'm now in week 10. Lean, mean, the most shredded dude at the Orlando Pose Down, amongst all the boyfriends, by the way, 50-year-old man. Mop the floor with those punks. Don't say that to them because they could physically dominate me, but from an aesthetic standpoint, I look better than they do. Go to school, SKOOL, school.com/BBQ right now and take the first step, because you can have barbecue and your dream body too, but you have to take action. That's school.com, SKOOL, school.com/BBQ. We're back with the embedded correspondence right after this. Stick around. Be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Howard Stern, Jim Rome, Dan Patrick, and Greg Rampey. The Mountain Rushmore of talk show entertainment. Now, let's get back to the Barbecue Central Show.
All right, welcome back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Big Papa Smokers, celebrating 15 years. If you want 15% off your next order, use promo code REMPY15 at checkout. Some exclusions apply. Visit BigPopSmokers.com for details. Big Papa Smokers, where your food just got better.
It's a good name.
You like Big Papa Smokers?
I like that name. I'm going to look them up.
I got some rub for you, by the way, before you leave tonight as my Thanksgiving sitting in.
Deal.
All right, it's the fourth Tuesday of the month in the second hour. And, of course, that can only mean one thing. The embedded correspondents are indeed here, and we are joined by the mayor of Wickliffe as well. So let me make introductions here. Everybody on the bottom right corner, this is the mayor of Wickliffe, Joe Sakis. And then right to the right of me at top is the longest-running embedded correspondent of the show, Doug Scheiding from Texas. And then just to the right of him is the long-missed for the past 2 months, but now rejoining us from the great state of Michigan, John Solberg, also executive producer of the Barbecue Central Show in 10 Minutes or Less. And then directly below me from the great city of Utah, it's Rusty Monson from Salt City Barbecue. And then below Doug, in the middle, is the embedded correspondent from Tennessee, Matt Osman of Blinky's Offset Barbecue. And we've finally done it there. All right, John, I said I was going to go to you right out of the break. Before we came back here on the way out to the break, Joe happened to mention that perhaps some of the finest coffee is made with cat feces. I know no bigger coffee aficionado than you, John. What can you tell me about cat feces coffee, if anything?
It's civet? I believe it's called civet coffee. And there's a cat that eats the cherry, which is a coffee bean, is actually a coffee seed, and it's inside of a coffee cherry, and that digestion process, then they collect this feces. It's got a bad rap in the world because they kind of force feed those cats the cherries, kind of like making foie gras. So while I've never had cat anus coffee, I'm going to take everybody's word for it that it's really good.
Joe, you haven't had cat anus coffee?
No, I've never had it. There was that show, Breaking Ground, from that, where the guy traveled all over to the dangerous parts of the country. I can't think of that Travel Channel guy.
Is it Andrew Zimmern?
No.
Anthony Bourdain?
No, it wasn't Bourdain. The bald guy.
Andrew
something-
Zimmerman.
Yep, no, not him, but this guy went to because listen, where you find the greatest coffee is also where you find cocaine. So him going to find he would commission from these hotels and companies to go find the best coffee bean.
Wow.
And so that's kind of, but I never tried it. I've had Giant Eagle coffee.
That's you?
Yeah, Giant Eagle. I like strong black coffee in the morning till at 3-4 cups before I can even talk to people.
All right. Well, I think we have our soundbite for the show, which is you find the best coffee, you're also going to find cocaine. So we'll make sure that we separate that as well. All right, gang, before we get to the surety questions, we have a YouTube poll question of the week. And we'll start with you, Doug, and then go around the dais there. Did you know how the Michelin Star Guide really worked prior to either Robert Moss or Daniel Vaughn talking about it here over the last couple weeks?
I'm like people like you. No.
John, did you know how Michelin Star Guide worked?
I had no idea. I'm people like you.
Rusty, are you people like us?
Never.
Matt, did you have any idea how the Michelin Star Guide worked?
I did have an idea, but did not know all the details.
All right, so that's a no. And, of course, we know from last segment, Joe Sakis also said no. And I also said no. That makes the YouTube poll question of the week, I think, for the first time being unanimous no, and also has to be increasing the percentage that I see on YouTube, which is 79% of the voting public saying no, they had no idea how the Michelin Star Guide worked. I think that also bolsters our Did we do the question last month about would you rather have a Michelin star or a James Beard Award? Did we do that, or did I just think that, Doug?
I believe you did that. Yes, we did that.
Yeah, okay. I think everybody wanted the James Beard Award, not the Michelin star. All right, we have a slew of 100% surety questions. Joe, just for your education here, I'm going to ask a question. It will start like this. Joe, 100% yes or 100% no, and then I'm going to make a statement.
Okay.
And then you are either going to say yes or no.
Okay.
There's no right or wrong answer. Sometimes, because of the amount of razzing and follow-up you might get, you might think you've given a wrong answer, but we're all friends here. It's for entertainment purposes only. So, where you think I would start with a guest, I won't. I'll start with the longest-running embedded correspondent, Doug Scheiding from Texas. Dougie, 100% yes or 100% no. You knew there was a Barbecue Central Barbecue Roundup show released on Thursdays back in 2016.
Hell yeah, because I'd have to do input for it every time.
Right, all right. John, you knew there was a Barbecue Roundup on Thursdays back in 2016.
I knew, but I forgot, but I was reminded.
Rusty, you knew?
If John doesn't know, I don't know. Come on, man. Nobody knows if John doesn't.
Matt, you knew about Barbecue Roundup.
100% yes, only because you mentioned it recently.
All right. And Joe, you knew that there was a Barbecue Roundup released on Thursdays back in 2016.
I did not know.
No? Well, up until this coming Friday, where I forgot to talk about it in the Talk Up last segment, but Joe and I got to talk, you will find out and listen to the majority of what was the very first Barbecue Roundup, taking you back to, I think it was March of 2016 or whatever it was. So you get to hear that this coming Friday. That reminded me that I was doing that, but in my defense, to give you the long-winded look back here, I did it for maybe 2 or 3 shows. Meathead fell in love with the concept from AmazingRibs.com, called me and said, hey, you're only 2 or 3 shows in. Would you consider stop doing what you're doing, and I will pay you to do this show exclusively within my Pitmasters Club to provide ongoing new content for my membership? And we came to an agreement on price, and I sold the show to him, and that's where it went. And Barbecue Roundup was never to be seen again, nor have I thought about reinstituting it now that it's now off the Pitmasters. But I think I did damn near 300 episodes in the pit. John, you wouldn't have any idea how many episodes I did by chance, would you?
None in the pit podcast, but it was a couple years.
Yeah, definitely a couple of years. So, fun show, and that was the brainchild. That's what ended up happening to it. Long, in-depth view, but that's what happened. John, by the way, welcome back. Happy to have you. 100% yes or 100% no. You are currently subscribed to the How to Barbecue Right YouTube channel.
100% no.
I'm taken aback. Rusty, you are subscribed to the How to Barbecue Right YouTube channel.
Yeah, man, that's the best one out there. It's not close.
Matt, How to Barbecue Right?
Let's get to cooking. 100% yes.
Joe, How to Barbecue Right?
Is that on TikTok? No.
It is on YouTube. It is on TikTok, too.
Yeah, I was trying to be funny. Nope.
No. I am, yes, subscribed to How to Barbecue Right. Doug, are you subscribed to How to Barbecue Right YouTube channel?
In solidarity with the embedded correspondent that's back this week, actually, no.
Oh. Wow.
Look, I would love to say that Joe has shocked me. I'm almost shocked because Malcolm does have quite a far-reaching subscriber base, almost 2 million subscribers at this point. So I don't know where the fringe starts to interact with the normal human beings that we aren't. Doug, why aren't you subscribed to Malcolm?
I truthfully, I'm just not a YouTube video watching kind of guy. I don't like the TikTok. I'm not much on the YouTube videos and things like that. So
watch?
It's just not my. Yeah.
John, why don't does this fall into what you're going to be doing at the retirement home?
No, it's like if you're not going to subscribe to me, I'm not subscribing to you. So if you don't follow me, I'm not following you back. Malcolm's not following me, I'm not following him back. It's like if I want him, I know Google Malcolm and I can go find what I need. I don't need to subscribe. I don't need a bunch of crap in my messages that he's put up a new video. I know where he is. I'll go look at him.
Wow. All right. I love it. Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. You are currently subscribed to the Sam the Cooking Guy YouTube channel.
Yep. Also best one out there.
Matt, Sam the Cooking Guy.
100% yes.
Joe, Sam the Cooking Guy.
No.
No.
Guys, I got a city to run. I can't be watching it.
That's right. Enough of this nonsense. Do we even work, guys? Doug, subscribe to the Sam the Cooking Guy YouTube channel.
Following in the show Hypocrisy, yes, absolutely. I'm subscribed to Sam.
John, Sam the Cooking Guy?
No, if I want to know, I'll call him.
I love him.
It's like I know the dude. No, I don't need to follow him. No.
Doug, you said you have no time for YouTube watching nonsense, and then you turn around and say you're subscribed to Sam the Cooking Guy. What the fuck?
Sam's funny as hell. It's educational as well as entertaining. So yes, I do subscribe to that one. That's actually probably one of maybe 3 or 4.
Do you see a appreciable bump in the Doug Scheiding rubs when Sam mentions it?
I see a little bit, but not as much as I would have thought.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I would have thought I'd get more. So
overrated. All right. Hey Matt, 100% yes or 100? Whoa, okay. Let's go to Joe instead of Matt because Matt will be last on this. Joe, 100% yes or 100% no. Sam the Cooking Guy will be at 4 million subscribers by May 1st. As Matt Osmond predicted last month. Yes or no?
100% yes.
No. Doug, 4 million by May 1st, as predicted by Matt.
Sadly, Matt, no.
John?
100% no.
Rusty?
Yeah, man, he can do it. Let's go.
I believe we have what is called a split decision here. I am also aligning with my top buddies on the row, I say no. Look, he just crossed into 3.8. He was in the 3.7s for months and months. So I feel really good that I'm not going to have to make good on going to every single semi-prolific and majorly prolific barbecue event from here until the end of the year, like I said it would last month when Sam was on the show. So I'm feeling good about that. All right, Matt, back to you. 100% yes or 100% no. You knew that Meathead was getting out of the rub and sauce game before he mentioned it last Tuesday.
100% yes, because I believe that's the second time he mentioned it on this show.
Joe, you knew Meathead was getting out of the rub and sauce business before last Tuesday.
No.
Joe, quick yes or no. You know who Meathead is.
No. The guy from Archie Bunker. The guy from all of it.
Often confused with that because of the name, but indeed not. Founder of AmazingRibs.com.
Oh.
Doug, you knew that Meathead was getting out of the rub and sauce game before last Tuesday.
Agreeing with Matt. He mentioned it the last time he was on. Matt didn't answer the last question, if I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back to Matt.
Oh, yeah.
Matt, Sam the Cooking Guy, will be at 4 million subscribers by May 1st, as predicted by you last month.
4,000,000% yes.
4 million.
Oh, nice.
Wow. I mean,
I
that's
think
even
there
more
was
than
like some
doubling
money
down.
on this too. Some big money.
Was there money?
There was
think there was
money.
two-
Yes.
two
Check the tape.
2
Oh,
dimes.
yeah, Sam said too large.
Yeah.
Too large.
All right. Yeah, well, he's got the money to burn,
Literally.
according to Rusty.
In a smoker.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Where was I? Who was it, Matt?
I stopped. with
Doug,
me. You
sorry.
stopped at
Doug, you knew Meathead was getting out of the rub and sauce
Yeah,
game.
yeah.
You said yes. All right.
I agree with
John,
Matt. Yeah.
you knew Meathead was getting out of the rub and sauce game before last Tuesday.
Meathead was in the rub and sauce game?
Uh-oh.
No. Yeah, no one else knew either. That's why he's out of it now. No, I didn't know.
Right. I did actively listen, so I knew that he was leaving the first time he mentioned it. So we'll leave it at that. There was another follow-up question I was going to ask, but there's no reason to just beat a dead horse. 100% yes or 100% no. Joe, you cooked a pastrami for St. Patrick's Day.
No. Thought there was more to that. Sorry.
That's it.
I
Doug, you cooked a pastrami for St. Patrick's Day.
No, but I posted my picture of about larder.
Yes, you did. Which has you ever been to Larder, Joe?
No.
Down in Hingetown?
Never been to Hinge.
We gotta go.
I'm in.
Doug, when are you coming back to town?
I'm not sure.
Check your calendar.
Don't want to kill.
go as a
Where's
treat.
everybody from? Or is that killing your show?
You don't listen when I talk?
Yeah, I have a
Doug,
city to run.
Doug, raise your hand from the great state of Texas, longest
Okay.
running embedded. John from the great state of Michigan.
Oh, there we go.
Rusty from the great city of Utah, below me. And Matt from the great city of Tennessee, or the great state of Tennessee.
Hey,
There
I
he
just was there not too long ago, but that I was
Pigeon
sorry.
Forge?
No, Nashville.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Matt, what's the deal with Pigeon Forge? Like,
Awesome.
everybody I know is going to Pigeon Forge. What am I doing there?
You don't have little kids.
Being a tourist.
Is it a little kid?
And, yeah.
Little kids,
There's
right?
a lot of showy this thing and that attraction. Imagine, what is it? In Orlando, International Boulevard, like the Ripley's up there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You
Same.
at your age, you would go to Gatlinburg, right?
Yes?
Right. Yes.
I'm not going to Tennessee.
Yeah.
No offense, man.
It's awesome.
I'm not going to Tennessee. Okay. Where did we leave off? John, you cooked a pastrami for St. Patrick's Day.
I did not. 100% no.
John.
I'm holding out hope for the great city of Utah to cook pastrami. Rusty, you cooked pastrami for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I did a fug load because I had a huge ass cater and those bitches wanted all the St. Patrick's Day crap.
How far in advance, Rusty, are you doing pastrami.
7 days in advance.
And then are you cooking? Are you smoking the night before?
Mm-hmm. Smoking it just like a brisket. Yep.
Wow. Just right before service.
No, we finish it early in the morning. We hold it.
Yeah,
so we
right.
wrap
But
it.
I mean, it's, you're within a 36-hour period of getting it off the smoker into people's mouth. Rusty runs a incredibly successful barbecue catering business in Utah.
Well, I hope I DJ a wedding out there. I would love I want to go to Utah now to eat some of his pastrami.
Yeah, he's crazy good, very successful competition cook as well.
That's awesome.
And got into the food trailer business. He caters concerts, hobnobs with Utah celebrities like whoever the celebrities are in Utah.
Warren Jebs.
Yes. Mormons in general. Yes. Post Malone.
Oh, yeah, Austin. There we go.
You're best friends with Post Malone, aren't you, Rusty?
Yeah, we're best. Well, we haven't met yet. We're best friends.
Yeah, besties for the
Dude's
rest.
awesome.
All right, good job.
He lives not far from me.
Does he live in American Fork?
No, he lives in it's Camas, Utah.
Oh, Camas, Utah. All right. Back to the questions. 100% yes or 100% no. Doug, you care about. Wait, let me rephrase here. Sorry. Got ahead of myself. Doug, Daniel Vaughn speaks for the majority of people when he says that the Michelin Star Guide has well-known standard operating procedures with getting paid to feature restaurants in certain states.
No, unless it's just the highbrow people he's having dinner with.
John, Daniel Vaughn speaking for the majority.
No, I had no clue.
Rusty, Daniel Vaughn speaks for the majority.
Nope. No. I'm with John.
Matt, majority?
100% nope.
Joe, majority.
Finally with everybody else, no.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. The answer has to be no. It was so much of a shock to me that I've asked the YouTube poll question of the week just in a different way because it continues to be, every time I talk about it, I'm shocked. It's like a joke. I think it's a joke. Okay. Doug, Michelin Star Guide, joke.
It's not. No, it's not a joke.
John, joke.
Total joke now that I know how it's done.
Rusty, joke.
I knew he was going to say it.
Nah, it's legit. It's cool. I like
Matt, joke.
Ha, ha, ha.
Joe, joke.
Bradley Cooper, I gotta say, yeah.
Yeah. It's easily the biggest joke ever. Easily. I can't think of bigger jokes. Actually, I can think of one. We might mention it in the next few questions. 100% yes or 100% no. John, you care about American-style barbecue popping up in other countries like Spain, Australia, and Germany.
I got no fucks to give about that. I don't give a shit. What the fuck is this question even on the board for? Hello? No, don't care.
Rusty, you care about American-style barbecue popping up in other countries.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think American cuisine, barbecue is like the American food, so it's about time we, represent.
Matt, your question. You care if American-style barbecue is popping up in other countries like España, Australia, and Germanza?
100% yes.
Right. Joe, do you care that American-style barbecue is popping up everywhere else?
We have all these Italian restaurants, Mexican restaurants, Chinese restaurants. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
We should be somewhere.
Should. Doug, you care that American-style barbecue is popping up in other countries?
Yes, we're the fusion in other countries, so yeah.
John don't care. I love it.
Gang, I hate to tell you, I don't give a fuck.
And Greg, though.
I'm from America in America. I care about American barbecue joints popping up in America.
Yeah.
That's what I like. I love it. I love it. Thank you, John. We're myopic Americans. We're focused. Just like this. This is all we see. America, baby. All right, 100% yes or 100% no. And this is the reference or foreshadow to the bigger joke. Rusty Solo Stove is the biggest joke in the live fire industry right now.
Not the biggest, but yeah, it's kind of weird.
Matt, biggest joke right now is Solo Stove.
Yeah, we're going to go there. Yeah, 100% yes.
Joe, biggest joke in live fire right now is Solo Stove.
100%.
Yes.
I don't know what it is.
Doug, 100% yes or 100% no, Solo Stove, the biggest joke in live fire right now.
I'm going to say being courageous. The little brother copycat Brio Grill is so I'm going to go no.
Wow. That's shocking. John, biggest joke right now is Solo Stove in the industry.
I must have totally missed something here. I don't understand the origin of this question. And Solo Stove is not the biggest joke in the fucking live fire industry. What? Because they did. What did I miss? Because they came up with a pizza oven or some shit? Like, I'm missing something. What
I'm going to
happened?
tell you. I'm going to tell you right now.
Uni.
They are the biggest joke right now because your stock is trading at 22 cents a share. Get out!
Oh, jeez. God
Get
damn,
out.
Traeger's kicking their ass. They're going to be there in a second. What? Traeger's like $1.78? What does that got anything to do with
They're
anything?
7 times more equitable than Solo Stove. Solo Stove is going to be out of business in 8 minutes. I don't think Traeger's going to be out of business.
Uni.
$1.65 a share sounds like $1 billion a share compared to 20 cents.
All right, sorry.
2 cents,
that
it's
they
up.
had-
It's up 10%.
y'all are freaking getting upset about a fire pit company. What the fuck?
Yeah, but look what they did.
Yeah.
They
They're not-
they,
what did-
they
what'd
were
they do?
literally on fire, and then they completely shit the bed with their business practice to the point where they went public. I don't remember where their high water mark was, but now they are literally almost less than penny stock inside of 3 years. Like that, it's a sham. It's a joke.
It's a fucking fire pit. What do you expect? They're not putting men on the fucking moon.
The
Jesus
fire pit's
Christ,
the
it's
best part of the whole company. Everything else is a joke.
No,
What
well,
is it?
obviously.
Pizza? It's a pizza?
Well, it's the smokeless fire pit. That was the flagship product. And then they started rolling out a whole bunch of other nonsense. So anybody else got any takes with this? Go ahead, Doug.
Well, I've got bad news. It's down 14% today, but it did open at $21. $20.
No, it did not.
That's what I'm looking at.
21
a
cents,
5
you
year.
It opened. It opened at $21.
It opened
Sorry,
5 years ago. Yes.
Wow. Can you imagine opening
went
at
up
$21 or 21 cents?
Sounds like stock I buy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Stay away from that. All right. We push on. Let's go to Matt. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. I followed up with Tim Shear from our conversation last month. He confirmed to me that he got more than $1 million on the sale of Gateway Drum Smoker to Smokin' Brothers. Yes or no?
Two-part question. 100% no.
Joe, Tim Shear got more than $1 million on the sale of Gateway Drum Smokers to Smokin' Brothers.
I'm going to say yes.
Yes. Right. Brave. Doug?
Yeah, I thought it was a 2-part. So yes, you definitely followed up, and no, we didn't.
John, I followed up with Tim Shear, and he confirmed to me that he got more than $1 million on the sale of Gateway Drums to Smokin' Brothers.
Yes, you followed up, and as much as I respect Doug's knowledge of business, I'm like, if that son of a bitch didn't get more than $1 million, he can. He's fucked. So I'm gonna go like, yeah, you followed up, and yeah, he got more than $1 million. Sorry,
Right.
Doug.
Rusty, Tim Shear, millionaire?
Yes and yes.
Yes and yes. And Matt, did I start with you?
You did start with
Yes,
me.
I did. All right. So the first part of the question was just a statement. I followed up with Tim Shear. So that there was no answer needed there. And he confirmed that he got more than $1 million. He did not confirm that. I can tell you with 100% assurity that Tim did not confirm to me that he got more than $1 million. So who knows how much he got, and the joke's on everybody. How about that? That went over like a turd in a punch bowl. One more question before the break, and then we'll come and wrap it up. 100% yes or 100% no. Joe... Greg will make it into the Barbecue Hall of Fame this year, even though he doesn't care to be in there.
100% yes.
Very quickly. Love the positivity. Doug, I get into the Barbecue Hall of Fame this year.
Like Sterling, as always, no.
No. John, I'm in.
Sorry, bro. I want it, but it's not happening.
Mr. Positivity?
No, man, not this year.
I'm the only yes.
Matt?
You and Sam's 4 million. 100% yes.
All right.
Wow.
Hold on.
This guy's got brass balls. You sell real estate, Matt?
I'll sell you a line.
Yes, Joe.
Wait, I just want a quick yes or no from everybody. I know what you feel. I
Joe's
know this
taking
ain't
over
my
the show.
show.
He's
This
the
is what
mayor.
I don't, because it just came in my mind.
Go ahead.
Because that's what I'm gonna do when I get home. Cold pizza, yes or no?
All right, Doug, cold pizza?
Yes.
Yeah.
John, cold pizza?
No.
Wow. Rusty, cold pizza?
Yes, and I will order a deep dish Pizza Hut pizza
Yes.
and put it in the fridge just to eat it the next day.
Wow.
better.
Matt Osmond, cold pizza?
Yes, with the morning after pill.
Yes. Whoa.
Oh,
Never mind. Whoa.
what a wacko.
I'm not quick witted.
Speaking from many years ago, Matt. Many
Joe
years
went
ago.
from agreeing to going, I got to get away from this question like 100 million miles
Oh
an
my
hour.
God. Can we hit the rewind?
Matt
We let
is
the
out of
mayor
it.
on again.
Yeah.
He's making all the questions next time.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
great, man.
All
I'm
right.
like, yes. Oh my God, I said yes.
I'll tell you what, we will call a break for now, and then we'll come back and finish these questions. We'll pop the stream off. Don't want to do that. Oh, we got Doug, and we got John, and we got Rusty, and Matt, and Joe sitting in studio here, which is fun for me. Hey, let's talk about Green Mountain Grills before we get back to the Assurity questions, and then we wrap the show up. For 17 years, Green Mountain Grills has brought the smoke to the competition scene, backyards all over the world. Their Venturi-style smoke box delivers the cleanest 150-degree smoke in the pellet game. Their new redesigned 2025 Prime 2.0 grill blends the technology of the past with the technology of the future. Green Mountain Grill, the original innovator of all things Wi-Fi, continuing to give you the granular options and control your grill from any environment, from anywhere. Green Mountain Grill leads the pack in accessories as well. Their pizza attachment that delivers pizza in 2 minutes to rotisseries to an add-on side burner. Check out their new 2.0 Green Mountain Grill at the website greenmountaingrills.com. That's S at the end, Green Mountain Grills, plural, greenmountaingrills.com. We're back with the embedded correspondents and Joe Sakis right after this. Stick around, be right back.
You're listening to the Barbecue Central Show. Whole packers, full racks, legs and thighs, injecting butts. If you've never heard this before, you might think you found the best XXX show ever. Let's get back to the most homoerotic host out there today, Craig Rimpey.
And we are back. This portion of the show being brought to you by Wickliffe Cigars. Step into the world of Wickliffe Cigars, where each blend is a chapter and a grand tale of craftsmanship and passion. Portfolio, a symphony of flavors, each note carefully composed to create an unforgettable Nicaraguan smoking experience. Visit the website, McAuliffeCigars.com, MICALLEF Cigars.com, and find a dealer near you. All right, let's welcome back all the embedded correspondents, and we take Joe off mute as well as we get ready to limp through the rest of the 100% surety questions here. We'll go to this. I don't even know if I don't even think did we get through the whole Hall of Fame question? Not what I'm thinking about.
No, you didn't answer
we did.
Whether Greg gets in.
Okay, no. Greg is not getting in.
I'm the only yes.
Nope.
Oh, no, me and Matt.
Matt had money, and
Matt.
he was very, very excited that I would get in. All right, let's reboot. Start with Doug on this one so I can get my bearings back. Doug, 100% yes or 100% no. Greg is lying when he says he doesn't care if he gets into the Barbecue Hall of Fame or not.
Yes, because he should be.
John, Greg is a liar.
100% no. You're not lying. You don't care. It's like you're gonna go in there. And if you get in, you're gonna go shit on the place. So I'm looking forward to that.
Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. I am lying when I say I don't care if I get into the Barbecue Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think you're 100% lying.
Matt, I'm a liar.
100% yes, and if you don't snub the acceptance speech, it's worthless.
And I'm a hypocrite. Joe, 100% yes or 100% no. I'm lying when I say I don't care if I get into the Barbecue Hall of Fame.
I'm with John. No, you don't give a shit.
Well, I can answer this because the question's about me. Do I lie when I say I don't care if I get into the Barbecue Hall of Fame? No. I don't care. I mean, do you think I'm going to go? I don't go anywhere. I get into the Barbecue Hall of Fame. You think I'm going to the induction ceremony? No. Of course not. 100% yes or 100% no. Johnny Boy, Sterling, Big Papa Ball gets into the Barbecue Hall of Fame this year.
I think everyone knows where my heart is. I just don't see it happening. I just don't think they're ever going to get him in until.
Wow.
I mean, don't even get me going on the whole subject because I will roll and rant and rave.
Yeah.
And like, unfortunately, I don't see it happen. I certainly hope he does.
Rusty, Sterling Ball getting into the Barbecue Hall of Fame this year.
He fucking better, man. He deserves it more than anybody.
I'll take that as a yes. Matt, Sterling Ball getting into the Hall of Fame this year?
100% yes with the force.
That's 2 out of 3. Joe, Sterling, Big Papa Ball making it into the Barbecue Hall of Fame this year.
With a name like that, yes.
Yes. You're into music, right?
Yes.
You ever heard of Ernie Ball guitar string?
Guitar strings.
That's his dad. That's Ernie Ball.
He better get in now.
Right. Better.
Like the give back.
Doug, Sterling Ball getting into the Barbecue Hall of Fame in 2025.
I think he gets closer and makes the final 9, but sadly, no. He's not going to get all the way.
Well, I like what John's doing. John didn't inspire me to nominate Sterling Ball again as I do every year, but was inspirational to me to see the amount of social media posts he's putting out there. He has a achievements deck that he is also willing to send people so they can do due diligence and perhaps be swayed to vote for him. I think out of nowhere, I'm channeling my inner Matt Osmond, and I'm saying 100% yes, he is getting into the Barbecue Hall of Fame. I am shocked that I'm saying that. I'm usually saying that he's got much of a chance as I do, but I think Sterling is turning some kind of corner, and out of the blue this year, I think he's going to be into the Barbecue Hall of Fame. All right, next question. Rusty, 100% yes or 100% no. I have used my everyday carry steak knife from Hardcore Carnivore in a real-life restaurant situation.
100% no, because I don't think you go to restaurants often.
How would you know?
Just to guess, that's what we're doing is just guessing,
Right.
Like, that's my job.
Yeah, but
really.
you could have just said no. You didn't have to
but
judge me.
Yeah, sometimes a little judgment.
Do I give
helps
off an air of I'm better than
Absolutely.
restaurants?
Oh yeah. Yeah. For sure.
Matt, I have used my everyday carry steak knife from Hardcore Carnivore in a real life restaurant situation.
100% yes, and it was not locally.
Joe, I have used my everyday carry steak knife from Hardcore Carnivore.
I could see you doing that, yeah.
Yes, sir. Doug, I've used the everyday carry steak knife in a real life situation.
In an obnoxious fashion, absolutely, you did.
Okay. Johnny Boy, I have used the everyday carry steak knife from Hardcore Carnivore in a real life restaurant situation.
I am so on the edge of being so politically incorrect here. I don't even want to fucking talk.
Yes.
I'm like,
let's hear it.
If you're fucking gay enough to have an everyday carry steak knife, fuck yeah, you used it in public, you fucking faggot. What the fuck? Yes.
Jeez, what are you doing, John? God.
Oh, we've missed you, John. Where have you been?
Moly.
Did you really miss me?
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
He needs to
Sorry,
run for
Mayor.
council
Forgive
in
me.
my
I don't edit
Jesus,
the podcast,
I'm in.
but I think I'm
God
going
damn
to
it.
edit
Dude,
the
come to
Give me a
Wickliffe.
key to the city, Mayor.
Holy moly.
I will drive you in the parade.
I think I'm going to have to add some sensors here tonight. All right. Well, I can answer this question. Have I used my everyday carry steak knife from Hardcore Carnivore in a real life restaurant situation? No. Fucking idiot. Like, how would I use that?
I don't know what it is. I thought it was a little knife. I don't know.
It looks like a pocket knife, but it's a real Damascus steel steak knife in a flip knife.
Oh, okay. Right.
But it's only supposed to be used for steak. I was in a Jeff Ruby's steakhouse in Columbus. It was in my pocket. I sat there and go, there is no way I can take this out of my pocket and use it, number one. Number two, and I think this was the bigger item here that I couldn't get over. If I use it, how am I going to clean it? I can't take it to the bathroom and just wash it underwater, and that's not good enough for me to be clean. So I'm really never going to be able to use it as the Lord and Savior Jesus Christ intended it, or as Jess Pryles, who sent it to me as a gift. John, I didn't buy it, and said only use it for steak. I can't. I don't think I can ever use it in two different ways. Big bag move if I pull out and use my own steak knife, and then I can't ever get it clean enough.
That's going to be heard often.
Yes, there you go. There you go.
Big bad.
Big bag move. If I pull it out, yeah. So no, don't worry, John. I'm still an all man right here. Okay, that could be used too. Now that I'm thinking about it, I got to shut up. 100% yes or 100% no. Let's go to Matt Osman. Rusty's brick and mortar will last longer than his food truck podcast did.
1,000% yes.
All right, positivity, love it. Joe, Rusty is going to be opening a brick and mortar barbecue restaurant in Utah. Rusty also had a food truck podcast, which lasted how many episodes, Rusty? 13?
A whole lot, like lots. Oh man,
7.
Yeah,
7. Lasted 7 episodes. Which lasts longer, the brick and mortar restaurant or the podcast?
Yeah, if it's pastrami's what it's cracked up to be, we'll say yes, the brick and mortar.
Restaurant, all right. Doug, Rusty's brick and mortar restaurant will last longer than the food podcast.
Absolutely, he's back to where he belongs.
Yes.
Brick and mortar.
Nice.
John, brick and mortar restaurant longer than the food truck podcast?
100% yes.
Yes.
Come on, Rusty. I know you got it.
I believe in Rusty fully in this, and it's not even a question. Yes, the answer is yes. Well, let's go to Rusty. Rusty's brick and mortar restaurant will last longer than his food truck podcast did. Yes or no?
logged at 90 hours last week, not sitting down, 30,000 steps each day. Fucking better, man.
Yes.
I am
good man. The American entrepreneur. I
Look at this guy. He's insane. Good for you, Rusty. Can't wait to catch up with you one-on-one on the show and talk about all that. 100% yes or 100% no. Joe, Matt Osman from Tennessee is just to the left of you.
I see.
will win the Owl's Nest Barbecue Rib Cook-Off this coming weekend?
Absolutely, 100% yes.
I think we're having a little guy sitting next to me bias here, but we'll take that. Doug, Matt will win the Owl's Nest Barbecue Rib Contest.
Yes, he will.
All right. John, Matt's going to take home the trophy.
I'm not going to throw no shade. Of course he is.
Yes. Rusty, Matt's going to win Owl's Nest Barbecue Rib Cook-Off this weekend.
Yeah, I better, man. Come on, dude. Win it.
Well, now I feel immense pressure to make this unanimous, so I will not disappoint. I will give 100% total show karma to Matt, which means you have no other choice but to win. I mean, whoa. Okay, sorry. Forgot to stop the automation there. Apologize for that as we're getting through these questions. So you have show karma behind you, which means you will win. Whether you even want to or not, Matt, you will win. So we're looking forward to seeing the trophy and hearing how much thousands of dollars you win for that grand championship. Matt, will you win this coming weekend?
$1,000 worth of yes.
Yes. All right. Good for you. $1,000. That goes to the grand champion, or is it 1,000 paying out?
No, sir. First place is 1,000, pays down to 5 spots, which ends at 150, and it is a 90-minute cook.
All right. Hot and fast ribs. Okay, my favorite.
Party ribs.
100% yes or 100% no. Doug, back to you, Matt. 100% yes or 100% no. He does not know it yet, but Matt Osman is less than 1 week away from getting blocked by me on Instagram because he sends me no less than 4 to 5 videos per day in my inbox, and I can't take it any longer.
Oh my God, I love this question because yes, and if he starts doing it to me, he's going to get banned from me as well.
John, Matt Osman on the edge of getting blocked by me on Instagram.
No, because you've been talking this shit for a year. No, you're never gonna block him.
Rusty, Matt is on the edge of getting banned by me on Instagram.
Yes, and deservedly so.
Joe, I am close to banning Matt on Instagram for incessantly sending me videos in my inbox.
Yeah, I can see you doing that.
Matt, I'm going to ban you if you don't fucking stop it. Oh, wait. I'm telling you, I'm going to ban you if you don't fucking stop it. Next question.
What?
Like, dude, what the fuck? Why do I got to know everything you're looking at?
But that's the thing. That's the sad part. It's only like 12%. I promise. There are others that are worse.
12% more than I want. I want 0%. Zero.
How about 5 a week?
How about 0? Can we agree 0? Can we start with 0 and go down from there?
Can it revolve every 30 days?
No. Can it? How about we start?
Freaking stop it, Matt, so we can move forward and get off of this.
John's tired. He's not used to putting in the reps like this.
Yeah,
he's got to build back up. He's got to build back. All right, 100% yes or 100% no. John, when visiting as an adult, Magic Kingdom is more like Tragic Kingdom.
Yeah, if you got to go to freaking Magic Kingdom as an adult, you are tragic. Like, yeah, don't, like if you ain't got kids and you're going, you're fucked up.
Oh, okay. Rusty, Magic Kingdom like Tragic Kingdom.
Is that Disneyland?
Yes.
Nah, it's cool. I thought I had a good time.
Oh, sorry. Yes. Matt, when visiting as an adult, Magic Kingdom, more like Tragic Kingdom.
100% yes.
Joe, when visiting as an adult, Magic Kingdom's more like Tragic Kingdom.
Me and my wife were just talking about that. If you go to that place as an adult, you're weird.
Oh, wait. Sorry, that's Tragic Kingdom. I think you and John are kindred spirits here. See, John being brought in as a special concierge to the mayor of Wickliffe here. When visiting as an adult, Magic Kingdom is more like Tragic Kingdom. I am a yes. Just did it a couple weeks ago, and we will not go back there with the family. Doug, 100% yes or 100% no when visiting as an adult Magic Kingdom, more like Tragic Kingdom.
Quoting from a Stephen Reichlin interview on the show, it's like Dante's tense circle of hell.
That's right. That's a stellar callback. Stellar callback. We move on. Let's stay with you, Doug. Salmon, 100% yes or 100% no. Salmon is better than tuna when grilled.
No, only smoked.
John, salmon better than tuna on the grill.
Man, it's coin toss. It's close, but I'm going to go, salmon better than tuna. That's
Rusty, salmon better than tuna?
I'm with Doug. Only when it's smoked.
Matt, salmon is better than tuna when grilled.
100% no.
Joe, salmon better than tuna when it's grilled.
Salmon only good smoked.
Salmon is gross.
Yeah, I've only had it smoked.
I
So
mean, so gross. I mean, most fish is gross, but salmon is really gross. 100% yes or 100% no. John, one of Greg's daughters will get married in 2025.
100% no.
Rusty, marriage?
Grandpa Greg. It's going to be great.
Can you imagine?
Is that a yes or no?
Get off my lawn, kid. You know, shit like that. Yeah, it's going to be, the answer is yes. Yes.
I think Rusty's getting a kid and marriage confused. Like, you don't have to have one with the other.
Listen, I'm from Utah. Everyone's Mormon. You're married at 18. You have 2 kids by 20. If you're not, then you're not part of this society and move away.
That's right. If you don't know what soaking is, you're not Mormon. Matt, 100% yes or 100% no. One of Greg's daughters will get married in 2025.
100% yes.
Joe.
Well, looks like I got to DJ another wedding. I'm going to say yes.
Right. I can tell you with 100% assurity, weddings are things that just don't happen on a whim. We are already through March. There will be 0 weddings in 2025. I mean, you got to be kidding me.
Well, guess
somebody has to get engaged before they get married. Okay, you don't have to. But I would assume, knowing the gents that I know that are currently around my daughters, that there would be some type of an engagement period that would lead to months of planning, to what I hope is a very, very small wedding, or that I pay them to elope and then give them a check and we have
ask
a party.
for your blessing. Can you imagine that, guys? Not asking.
We've already talked about that, believe it or not. Yeah. Do you expect that an Aubrey or a Carla boyfriend asks for your daughter's hand in marriage? Joe?
Yeah, I would hope.
Yes.
I would hope. Or they're not getting married.
That's right. They're going to get killed, murdered by a mayor.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go to Rusty. 100% yes or 100% no. You have seen Moana 2.
Oh, yeah. It sucked.
Sucked. Matt, you've seen Moana 2.
Twice. Yes, 100% yes.
Hey, John, remember those words you used for the knife? You might want to redirect those to the middle bottom. Joe, you have seen Moana 2.
Don't know what that is. No. Sorry, I don't leave Wickliffe.
Doug, you have seen Moana 2.
I'm with the mayor. I had no idea what the hell it was.
All right, thank God.
John, you've seen Moana 2.
It's like, no, I want to Google it to see what Moana 1 was.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good news. I don't even know what Moana was. I didn't even know if I was saying Moana right.
They saw it twice. One guy saw it twice.
4 of us are it's Moana?
It's Moana.
I thought it was Moana. I have no idea.
Moana
is one of the best Disney shows of all time.
It is Disney. I was
right.
going to say Disney.
Okay.
Right. All right.
Great.
The first one was fantastic.
The second one was terrible.
Hot garbage.
Hot garbage. Wow. You would rather watch the Barbie movie over and over again, Rusty?
Oh, my God. I got suckered into that one.
Yeah,
Barbie, big Rusty, big
Moana
fan
2,
of Barbie.
I'd rather watch anything. I like the Barbie movie.
You rather watch? Would you rather watch Wicked?
Wicked was good too, man. I like that
I
one.
heard that
a
was
one,
good.
actually.
I heard that
Right.
was good.
Yeah, I watched Wicked for all of 18 minutes and went to bed. Sucked. And you're looking at the biggest Ali Aliande fan that there is in a male skin suit. So she couldn't even hold my attention. I had to get out of there quick. All right, last question. Doug, because Joe's going to be last on this. Joe Sakis will win a second term as mayor of Wickliffe, Ohio in a landslide.
Yeah, I had all this research. I listened to the beginning, and yeah, 1,216 people in Wickliffe, 20% vote for an off election. 12,616. You gained like 13 last year. Proud of you, Mayor. So that's 2,523 votes, assuming 20% of the people vote. He had the mayor had a Facebook post on, what was it, February 2nd. 257 people said they would sign it along with their spouses and all their dogs and pets. So 17 shares, assuming everybody did that comes out to 1,747. He's going to win 70% of the vote.
Holy moly. You're in, Joe. It's over. We don't even
I'm projecting the winner now. Yes.
All right.
Don't even need to have the election.
The early, nobody's voted results are in. The incredibly early exit poll
says yes.
That's right. All right. Joe Sakis will win a second term as mayor of Wickliffe in a landslide.
Anyone who is not afraid to slam Disney people in public and I had no idea that was coming. He didn't take the politically correct route. Yes, Mayor, how do you send me a sign for my yard this election?
Right.
I am campaigning for you from Michigan.
Rusty, Joe Sakis will win his second term as mayor of Wickliffe, Ohio in a landslide.
What the fuck, Doug? God damn, that was a lot. Yeah,
Political
Doug's right, and
correspondent.
hell yeah, man. Let's go.
Thanks, brother.
Matt, Joe wins in a landslide.
Uh-oh.
Oh, he froze.
Matt, are you there? Hold on.
Like, give it a
Let's go to Matt. Oh, that's Rusty. Sorry. Matt. No,
He's picking
no,
his
Matt.
teeth. His hands are stuck in his mouth.
It is hard for me
Dude,
to think.
looks like Mario.
This thinking is very hard. All right. He said yes. I don't know if anybody heard it, so good for him. All right. Of course, I'm secretly Joe's campaign manager, so of course he's going to win in a landslide. So we have to go to the only person that matters. 100% yes or 100% no. Joe Sakis will win his second term as mayor of Wickliffe, Ohio in a landslide.
Oh, the only person that could beat me is myself, and making the Disney comment might have ruined me.
All right. Love it. All right. We have some time for publicity here before we leave. Doug, anything coming up here that you'd like to promote?
Yes, I'm on my show this past weekend with Bill Purvis, and actually Buck Showalter is on the show.
Wow.
I am not sponsored by Man Kitchen, but today all of his stuff, including the grinder, is off 20% on MK Day 2025 is your code.
Wow.
I bought some things. So Man Kitchen.
Cleve Owens is the owner of Man Kitchen.
Yeah, Cleve.
Pepper Cannon.
Fantastic.
Good guy.
His shears are amazing.
All right. I don't know anything about the shears, but I know the pepper cannon and the salt cannon because I have them on my table. I have $400 grand total in both pepper and salt things that I didn't pay for, by the way. But that's how much they cost in retail. John, what are we promoting?
Hey, don't forget, this Friday, Best Moments of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. Check it out. Wherever you get your favorite podcast, just search the BBQ Central show and subscribe.
Rusty, what are we promoting tonight?
Well, if you're so happen to be in Utah and you're downtown, come check us out at the Woodbine Food Hall in the Greenery District. Look us up. Come get some barbecue and say hi because I live there. I literally live there. So you can see me
Literally
anytime.
live there. All right. Let me quickly go back to Matt, and he has not reappeared. So we thank Matt for showing up tonight. We thank Doug, the longest-running embedded correspondent from Texas, for showing up tonight. And then next to him is John from Michigan. and the executive producer of the Barbecue Central show in 10 minutes or less. And then below me is Rusty Monson from the great city of Utah. And closing it out there in the middle, that is not going to say anything, is Matt Osmond from Tennessee. Gentlemen, appreciate you joining me, and we will see you again next month. There they go.
Nice
the
meeting you,
embedded
boys.
correspondence right there. All right, Joe, we are done here for this evening. So anything that you would like to promote before we call it a night?
Yes, you don't have to live in Wickliffe to log in, check out Joe Sakis, mayor of the city of Wickliffe Facebook page. Great information if you're ever coming through the greater Cleveland area.
Joe, thanks for coming out tonight.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was good. Good time. Good people.
All right. We're going to get out of here. All the way back in the first hour, we talked with Mike Lang from Another Pint Please, and then we had our in-studio guests, Joe Sakis, mayor of Wickliffe, Ohio, and then the embedded correspondence during the second hour, along with Joe sitting in, taking in the 100% surety questions for the first time. Big show planned for you next week. We're already in April, so we got Malcolm Reed coming in. We got a Sam the Cooking Guy visit coming in, amongst others. Jam-packed as always. So how do I always leave you? September 11th, 2001. I will never forget. And until next Tuesday at 9 p.m.